Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to show you some things about these Stihl 4-mix trimmers and how to fix them, how to diagnose them, a problem these have. I'm actually going to show you carburetor operation as well. Problem I was having with this, when I would go to start it, this thing would be hard to start. This is the FS90, and as far as idling, I couldn't really get it the idle right. I'd have to keep my finger on the trigger to keep it running. And I thought, well, okay, carburetor, because I put a good bit of time on it, and that usually fixes it. It didn't fix it. And I says, got another problem here, because this primer circuit is usually what goes out on these carburetors, I've noticed. So I says, okay, I says, do I have a cam wheel issue? Because it wouldn't rev up right. I couldn't reach full RPMs. This cam wheel, you can see, is pretty much perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And I says, and I found something, a symptom. Inside this cover here, this was all black, like carbon. So I said to myself, okay, I wonder if I don't have a valve issue. Because a big issue with these 4-mix trimmers are carbon underneath the exhaust valve. Okay, see right here. See right here where the part where it seats against the valve seat, just a little bit up. This had carbon all the way around that. And I'm going to show you right down. Look right down in there. See how it's all brown and black around that seat? That seat was not seating. The carbon was getting under there and holding the valve open. And if you run it too long like that, that will take out this top end, and those seats are non-serviceable. Non-serviceable seats. So you'd have to either buy a whole new cylinder assembly, engine, or probably a whole new trimmer. So you kind of want to get that early. I know when I go to get my parts up the dealer, I hear them talking about this all the time, saying, yep, it's scrap, you got to buy a whole new trimmer because it burns the exhaust valve. So to fix that before it gets bad, I'm going to use some of this valve lapping compound. And to clean the carbon off this, what I did, I'm going to show you what cleaner I used. I use this BG stuff, and I use this little wire wheel on my Dremel. That's all I used. Looks good as new. So that's a big problem on these. If it's not revving up right, if your cam wheel's good, your valve clearances are good. It's like it seemed like it didn't have the greatest compression either. So there's that issue. You can see all that black. Means the exhaust valve wasn't seating. Okay, now I'm going to get to the carburetor. Okay, what we're checking here, let me get this on pressure. Okay, now what we're checking here, we're going to check the primer circuit. Now you want to plug into right here, that primer circuit. That's the thing that goes bad on these carburetors, I've noticed. Okay, I'm going to pump it up to about 10 psi. Let's see where we're at. 5. This one required a few more pumps than you're supposed to, but you want it to hold. Let's check into check valves. Looks good. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go to vacuum. We're going to vacuum test this. Pump her up to about 10. Should hold. This one's holding. Okay. Pump that up to about 10. Should hold about 10-20 seconds. Good enough. Perfect. Okay, this one, like I said, this primer circuit's not the great. It'll work, but it's not the greatest. Okay. This is a used carburetor. Now we're going to check the needle and seat operation. We're going to go into that one right there. Go into vacuum. Going to pump her up to about 10. Let's see where we're at. No, a little bit too high, 15. Okay, right there. Just hold. Like I said, should hold about 10-20 seconds. Shouldn't see that needle move. Okay. At 10. We're on vacuum. I did pressure. This is vacuum. Should hold. If it were leaking it, you'd see the needle go. See if I can do with the little valve here, you know. But it would do that if it's bad. But if it's good, it should just be like this. Perfect. So what I was checking, the needle and seat operation in this carburetor seat. The primer circuit's fair. Should be able to pump that up with a few pumps, but this one's a tad weak, but could use it. But there's that. Like I said, this primer circuit's what always goes bad on these, I've noticed. I put 4 of them on here. So maybe I'll do a video about timing this, okay? Now, if you want to time this thing, okay, what you want to do, see these little arrows here? Witness marks, they call them, okay? Install this in here. See right here? There's like, see that mark there on the case? This mark here on the case. That should line up, okay? And well, I'll do a video about that. But it's just, that's the timing marks for your cam wheel, and you want to get this at top dead center. Like I said, this is for illustration. I don't have it together. You want to line that up when this is at top dead center. And how you know on your crank, you have to go here. See that red mark on the coil. And let's see. In this arrow. See that arrow? If this was in the cylinder, you would line that up with that mark there. Keep it there. And make sure your cam wheel is lined up like that. Okay, with those marks. Like I said, it's for illustrative purposes right now. I gotta do a little work to this, but hope that was useful for you guys. Till next time, keep on feeling the heat.